ISAF is a testament to the collective efforts of a community that believes in the power of South Asian narratives. Our theme this year is Crossroads, to celebrate South Asian cinema and culture as a hub and place where many roads intersect. Special mention to our platinum sponsors, RBC, gold sponsors, Adme Group, Allure, Creative BC, Canada Media Fund, Telefilm, Quantum Polytechnic, City of Surrey, Warner Bros. Discovery Access Canada. We are here for a collection of short films entitled Life Interrupted. Life is full of surprises, moments of love, defeat, loss, and joy, and everything in between. These films explore a kaleidoscope of emotions that can stop us in our tracks. I'd like to quickly welcome up Sara Ranguni from The Morning After to say a few words before she catches her flight home, which is also wild that you're here and right before your screening, right before your flight. But yes, if you'd like to say a few words before.
Thanks, Sean. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm the producer on Morning After, and Sonia, the director and writer, could not be here, so I'm going to just say a little something from her. Exactly a year ago at ISAF 2023, my short film, Any Given Night, had its BC premiere. At the time, I had written The Morning After, but it was nowhere close to production. Before every film, ISAF screened reels, TikTok, and short social media videos. And funny enough, a video of Taha played before mine. Immediately I knew I had to cast him as Imran in The Morning After. I messaged Pulkit after the festival, who made the connection, jumped on that WhatsApp group and found Sarah. And that is how she got involved. The next thing I know, we were actually making this film, and for it to have its premiere at ISAF, where it was born out of, is truly a full circle moment. I wish I could have been a part of it, but nonetheless, I am so excited for you to be able to watch our little labor of love on the big screen. I hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed making it. Just a little something for me. This film is really a testament to how ISAF brings creators together. I remember when my short film Leveled was screened here, I had my world premiere. I've made lifelong connections that have just given me so much power as a creator. When Sonia asked me to come on as a producer, I read the script and it was a no-brainer. This film is about connectivity, it's about friendship, it's about feeling misunderstood, and that's okay. But at the end of it, it's really about finding that one special someone who can understand everything that you're going through. I also wanted to acknowledge our brothers and sisters in Palestine, in Yemen, in Lebanon, and in Syria. I wanted to acknowledge the genocide that's taking place, and I do pray that they get the freedom that we have right now. Thank you so much to ISAF, and thank you so much to everyone, and congratulations to all the filmmakers here in your short.
And yes, thank you so much. We also, as I'm sure many of you are aware, have been seeing that we are screening short, little TikToks and reels from featured content creators from around the world. This is our way of spotlighting the creativity of Instagram Reels and building a bridge between content creators and the film industry. So that's really awesome that something like that initiative that we did was actually able to foster into a beautiful film that you're going to see today, along with the other incredible, beautiful films. So without further ado, welcome Life Interrupted.
I am the lead actor for Stalled. Hi, I'm Sherry Arasan, writer-producer on Stalled.
Hi, is it on? Yeah. I'm Yasmin Kianchi. I'm the writer and director of One Day.
Hi. You just have to yell into it. Okay, yeah. Hi, my name is Noel. I'm an actress and I played Miriam in One Day.
Awesome. So Yasmin, I want to start with you really quickly. I know you've been working on this project for a very long time.
Yes.
In fact, Yasmin actually sent me this script. We were Instagram friends for a very long time.
Yes.
And she sent me the script very early. I want to talk about what the process was to get the script from the one I read to the version that it is now.
Yeah, so I come from the doc world, so this is my first scripted film, and it was like a learning process for me. I didn't just want to write that first draft and start putting it into applications that way. I wanted to learn and grow. So Shaq was one of the writers I sent it to other mentors that I had come across, and I think the character development came a long way, especially of the lead actress. The lead character. it's a very vulnerable thing to write, of course, from personal experience. So I think that was probably my biggest challenge, was getting that out of Adila, like what I really wanted to say. It took a while.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one thing that you do really well in this script was, and it's one of the first times that I've really seen this done this well, was you have 3 Muslim women on screen, but they're very different Muslim women on screen. Can you talk a little bit about that process in actually like finding and casting each one of them?
Yeah, that was really important to me, because I have so many different kinds of Muslim women in my own life, and I usually see very one-dimensional depictions of Muslim women on screen, and that was just never reflected, myself or the women in my life. And so, yeah, it was really important to me that these characters were, Muslim women that were very distinct from each other, in like maturity level, because at that age, like you're still figuring yourself out, but also in interest and belief systems and culture. And so for sure, I knew that Adila, I really hoped that I would find someone Guyanese, and I did, and Becky a Black was excited to audition and blew me away. And then, yeah, it was very intense process. I had Noel come in and do a chemistry read with Becky, even after I think you auditioned separately. And the energy matched really, really well. Then the process of finding Zarina, played by Hamra Balay, she was a first-time actress on camera, actually, on screen. So this is her first on-screen role.
Wow.
And I think I was having trouble finding the energy that I was looking for in Zarina. Like, I hoped that she would come across with, a natural charisma and, sort of be able to have that chemistry with Becky that we could work on. And I wasn't finding that right away, but by some miracle, a friend sent me a text right before I sent an email to someone else giving them the role that, I think I'm sitting across from Zarina. And long story short, that ended up being the one that we cast for Zarina.
That's really cool, because I remember the casting process for this movie, and it was very extensive, yes. And I think it pulled off. I think you found your brilliant cast.
Thank you.
Shahira, I want to talk to you about writing your film.
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
so brilliant, and it's so dark and funny and big at the same time, and you play with so many different roles. Where did your inspiration for this first come from?
Well, I mean, for me, it was this big thing of kind of tackling mental health. I think a little bit in the South Asian community. I think a lot of filmmakers talk about how the emotions kind of come from a real place, a real sense of feeling of, I think, loss of just this idea of being successful and what that means, and dealing with family, a lot of those types of things. And I kind of come from a comedy background, so for me, a lot of times in my work, I like to imbue heart and humor into things. And one thing for me is making sure that when you're on screen, when you're seeing these things, it's it's engaging and it's bringing you these kinds of emotions. And I think comedy is a great way to cut through the kind of tension of things. I think it invites an audience into the way a character's feeling or what's going on. And that way, I thought Faizan did a really great job kind of portraying that and bringing that into it, because the story very much went through a lot of different changes. Originally, it was very this road trip buddy comedy with death, where it was just kind of making a bunch of suicide jokes, which it did not end up going the way that was going to go in this story. But it was it kind of evolved into something a little bit more mature and a little bit more focused on our main character and kind of the realness of what that means and what he's kind of dealing with in those spaces.
And how did you find Faizan? Because you are so hilarious in this movie. Genuinely, I remember first watching it, I was laughing, and then I started crying. And I was oh my god, I just feel so, I felt so disarmed by the comedy at the beginning, the emotional end when you're outside the car. I was that hit. How did you both end up finding each other?
Well, so our director, who could be here, Michael, we both were kind of looking for leads, and I didn't know if I could find, so this is my AFI thesis film. And one of my big things was wanting to cast a full South Asian cast, and I mean, especially in the US, it's kind of hard finding people who are kind of right for roles and stuff. I was very excited when Faizan kind of applied for this, and Michael also immediately saw the character in this, because we originally had him be younger, but through Faizan's performance, we were just this is somebody who kind of fits this role, so we kind of aged him up, so because we really loved what Faizan's take was in the film. Faizan, you can talk about how you kind of came to it, I guess.
Facebook.
Facebook. Really? It was a Facebook message?
Yeah.
Hey,
It
what's
was Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore.
up?
Sometimes. So I saw a post and it said South Asian. I'm like, I don't want to do it. But then I saw, Shahryar and description about suicide and mental health. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I was lucky enough because Michael came to the, so I was supposed to have an audition, and he said, we don't need an audition. You're fine. I was like, whoa, okay. Okay. And then we just started discussing about mental health and what's my take. And I don't know if you guys realize it's kind of like I interpret it as he has bipolar and he's delusional and he's seeing all these delusions. That's where the comedy is. And I think what I loved about the project, the ending, because at the end he doesn't commit suicide, right? A lot of movies you watch, and so it gives a hope and also a call from mom, right? That's a big one. I actually got a call while I was sitting there from my mom, and I picked it up.
Pick it up. As you should.
I was like, I have to pick it up. I was like, Mom, I'm at the event.
You did.
So yeah, exactly. So I was lucky enough, these guys, Michael, who couldn't be here, he gave me so much freedom to play around. I never smoked cigarette, so this guy was like, you have to smoke cigarette. I'm like, oh, okay, how do I do that? Right.
Yeah.
Part of the character. It's a herbal cigarette, by the way, no nicotine. So yeah, so I had to figure that out. We did a lot
Check
of.
with his imam first too.
I did check with my imam. It was a kind of weird thing. I went to my imam, can I do this? He's like, you shouldn't. I was like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
That's every day.
Exactly. But Shahryar, I just applaud him all the time because his writing, his story is the king, right? I can do so much as an actor, but his writing gave me so much, and the director gave me so much space to work with. And that's what we have.
Awesome, yeah. And well, from one actor to another actor, like Nawal, I know you personally, and I know this character is not you personally. How did you go into the almost villain, mean person of this movie? Like, how did you channel that?
Yeah, it was interesting because I think when I did the audition, I asked you afterwards, I was like, is she mean? I felt really bad, giving her a dirty look. And Yasmin was like, no, that was perfect. That's literally the reason why you got cast. But Yasmin was also very thorough about the character and the inspiration behind it. You even had a mood board and We Are Lady parts, like one of the characters. I watched that as a way to kind of channel that a bit better. But I think one of the most important things was that you explained that a lot of meanness behind that is insecurity. And so I think that's what I channeled a bit more. And yeah, on set, I'm a bit of a loner. It's always been a thing. And so right before the scene, I kind of was thinking about that and trying to impress Becky, in the scene as an actress as well, because I was like, okay, imagine you, sitting, eating your lunch alone and not do it on set. So it was, that's kind of what I channeled more so than just being mean and catty, because that's difficult.
For sure, yeah. And going from the mood board, Yasmin, what was on your mood board for this show? Because I don't know if anyone clocked this out, but the colors, the production design, it was all very well thought out and unifying.
Yeah.
What was on that mood board?
Thank you. Yeah, it was tough because what I was seeing and envisioning, I was not really finding many references for. Definitely Bend It Like Beckham was one of them, just for the comedic it was just the energy of that film was something that I wanted to have in this film. But in terms of visuals, I was going for Clueless or early 2000s high school films, but also early 2000s Bollywood. So yeah, my references were all over the place. But it was also tricky to do that with early 2000s high school films because a lot of them are white centric.
Absolutely.
But Love and Basketball was one that I referenced a lot as well.
Yeah, finding references is really hard. That's why we need films like this so we can put more up there. Cause
Absolutely.
it's very
I
tough.
do have one more part. Where's the check? Where's the check now? The giant.
Oh,
the
it's
giant
in
check.
my closet.
You still have it?
Yes, of course. Of course,
Okay.
my two best friends from uni made that together.
Oh.
Okay, it's a
So,
good check.
yeah.
And Chandra, what was it like shooting in the desert? Because how did you watching that? And I was like, wait, Did not look fun. Like
It was very hot.
Really hot.
We were in the middle of the summer. We were at so out of LA. There's about an hour out of LA. There's like this like ranch that you can shoot a bunch of things at, which a lot of AFI projects did shoot at. But we found this perfect like place that could be a cliff. It was like off the kind of beaten path, and we made it work really well. And yeah, it was just a day. And then we always had to catch the light. So our DP was we were in one area the whole time, but like we had to move our tents constantly around so that we could catch the light and make sure everything was. And we very deliberately like planned out a lot of it to make sure it
it
worked
looked
out
very isolating.
Yeah.
You did that job. Are there
Yeah.
any questions from the audience that we can ask our brilliant filmmakers up here? Oh, what's up?
No.
Hi.
Hey.
A question for one day. The makeup looks incredibly iconic, but very distinctive between this like made-up world and then the reality. What were your conversations like with your makeup designers?
So the question is about makeup design. How did you balance that between the real life and the heightened world?
Yeah, I'm glad that you caught on to that. Yeah, I think like in pre-pro, we were categorizing everything between like daydream and reality. Because her daydreams are very much like an expression of like a fantasy world that like lives within her, that she doesn't feel she's ready to express yet. Like internally, she feels, extra and dramatic and, like outspoken, but in the real world, she's not ready to be seen and perceived in that way, and so she kind of hides herself in. So, the makeup I just really wanted to go all out for, and like also like we referenced some like older Bollywood films as well, like with the eyeliner and like just like every daydream sequence had like very distinct makeup where we wanted her to even feel a little bit older and wanted it to be very different from her reality colors, but kind of mirroring it as well in a way, because it's still her, but it's just this, it's this kind of like parallel version of her that she's not yet ready to fully realize.
Any other questions? Of course.
Yeah, I just want to add something because this movie is about mental health and South Asian mental health. I think we really need to talk about it. If you know someone who's depressed or having some mental health issues, I think we really need to talk about it with our parents or with our siblings. And I've been really much more open now after finishing the film. So just, if you find someone who's depressed, just check in. Because you never know who has suicidal thoughts or who is going through hell, right? Because of the peer pressure, parents' pressure, become an engineer or a doctor, right? So those pressures are there. So just check in with your parents. They might be going through depression as well. Yeah.
That's great.
Can I make another plug? Speaking of mental health, I'm in a second film.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Taboo. It's also about two young people who are struggling with their mental health and want to talk about it. It's going to be in the next shorts block, so please show up.
Yeah, come. I think it's 3:30, right?
Yes.
Well, I was just about to plug all this here, but if there's no more questions, let's give it up for our beautiful legendary acting team. I'm also so happy, like, we got the program, we put over, like, Muslim shorts this ISAF, like, can we give it up for that as well? It just meant a lot, both of y'all's films came in, along with the rest of our iconic program, like, it really warmed my heart. So thank you for making such brilliant art.
Thank you so much.
You're always welcome back.
Thank you. Really happy to be here.
Our program today, we have some awesome programs today. It's our last day of ISAF, which is so sad, but let's party it up on the last day. 3:30, we have Ray of Hope and Inheriting Amritsar in this theater, and at 3:30 we also have the shorts block Beneath the Surface in Theater 11. So go check out both of those, and then 6 o'clock is closing night. Shook and Truck Stop with Molly Karna is up here, so come check that out. That'll be so fire. And then award ceremony at 9. So go and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll hopefully see you all at those screenings. Have a great rest of your day.